biker dwarf. And like any good biker, he's waving. You always wave to your fellow bikers on the road. Good morning and welcome back. Today is going to be an absolutely spectacular day. So the weather you see behind me looks absolutely incredible today. Although I think it's getting a bit steamy because it's only 8 o'clock in the morning and I'm already a little bit sticky. So it's going to be kind of a steamy day. But I pulled over to this quaint little bakery right in the middle of town. I have not had coffee yet, so you'll see I got 2 Americanos and a kind of a salmon egg bagel, and so we're gonna have this, and then what we're gonna do today is there are some things around this town I want to go see. I want to go find some dwarfs, and so kind of what the city is known for, or one of the things, and so I want to go find a few of these. We are going to venture south into Czechia today for just a little bit before we start heading east, and we'll start making our way to get to the mountains. So that's going to be our day today. Anyway, I'm going to finish up breakfast and get something to eat, get my coffee in me because I am struggling this morning. I woke up early and did not have coffee, and I'll tell you, people who wake up and get moving without coffee, without anything, first thing in the morning, you guys have a special power and you could take over the world as long as you did it by 7 a.m. because I'm telling you, I have such a fog in my head right now, I can barely think. So we're gonna have that, and we're then gonna get moving. So I got a couple things for you. First of all, you might have noticed I got merch. Very limited, very limited, very exclusive. I have a production run of one, me. But I love my logo, and I've lost a couple hats, and so I thought, you know what, let's get one of the hats, let's get it embroidered with the logo. So because my hair is really bad, I want to take the helmet off, and I'm sweaty right now, and I need something like that, so got my hat. So the other thing I wanted to share with you is we are in the center of Wroclaw. And one of the things that this city is, I don't know if it's known for, but has around, are these gnomes. And you might be able to see one. There's a gnome on a pole right behind me. And what I understand is there are about 600 of them. These gnomes have been placed around the city, and that number changes a little bit. The number will grow, you know, new ones come about. Somebody places one that isn't necessarily registered, or a new one comes in. Or some of them are attached to businesses, and so the business goes under or it moves, and so then they take the gnome with them. So it's always in flux a little bit. But what they are is they are little brass gnomes, and the first one was placed in 2001 at the site of the Orange Alternative. So the Orange Alternative was an anti-communist movement, kind of a subculture or sub-movement. And they kind of did it through kind of peaceful means, right? By putting things like little statues around the city, but also to kind of subvert authority by saying, you can't arrest me for putting a dwarf on a pole or on the ground. So that's how it all started, and it's continued to grow from there. So the one behind me is dwarf on a pole. And so we're gonna go find a few of these. There's a couple, I think, on the ground. So we're gonna go find a couple of those. There's a couple that I really want. There's 2 that I really want to go find. And so we are gonna go find those. So here's another one of the gnomes. I don't know if they're gnomes or dwarves. I'm gonna call him Sunflower Gnome. I think they just call him gnome on a bench or something like that, but I think it's sunflower with that. So these are small, and there's a map of them, so they're hard to find, right? I mean, this is literally right next, kind of on a little bench light post. And if you go to the tourist office, you can get a map of them, or I think you can, there's actually a Google map is what I ended up doing. They are hard to find, and so cool to find one more. Still haven't found the 2 I want, so we gotta keep looking. Let's go. Found another one. This one looks like downtrodden gnome. He doesn't look happy. Looks like he's had a rough night. So we're gonna let him be, let him get his rest, because he looks like he's a little tired and could use a little bit of rest. So we're gonna let him go, and we are gonna go find, we still haven't found the two that I want. But I think we're on the trail of one of them. So we found another gnome walking towards the next one I go find. We found this one on the street, and I think this gnome is what I would consider every traveler's nightmare. I think it is fighting birds for his ice cream cone, and that is every tourist nightmare. Anyway, let's keep going. We're making good progress to the one I want to go find. Let's keep moving. So I found one of them that I wanted to find. So these are the firefighting gnomes, and you can see the two firefighters going after a fire. And so I wanted to come find, this one's important to me. I wanted to come find it. So number one, I used to be a firefighter a long time ago. And I still have friends that are firefighters, Bobo and Sam. I think you guys are incredible. It's such a noble profession and such a rewarding endeavor, that I am in awe of people who still do it. And I have utmost respect for our firefighters. I think they do an incredible job. So I wanted to come find this. It's important to me. This is one of them. And so we're gonna go look for one more. So we found the other dwarf that I wanted to find. What I wanted to find is biker dwarf. And like any good biker, he's waving. You always wave to your fellow bikers on the road. So I think he's really cool. Super glad I found him. And I think this is such a cool idea to place these around a city, something to that effect. And it's like a little scavenger hunt to come find them, see places in the city that you might not otherwise go look at, and some kind of relevance, like biker, firefighter, and even the tourists fighting the birds. So I think they're really cool, and I'm really glad I came to see them. Anyway, we need to get on the road. It's probably about 9 o'clock in the morning, and got an early start today. Anyway, let's get on the road and let's get moving. Those were fun to find, and to go around the city, and was just an absolutely cool little activity, little scavenger hunt this morning. So I don't know if you can tell or not, but I had the 2 cups of coffee right at the first little bistro, and as we were looking for the dwarves, I stopped and got an iced coffee, or iced Americano. So I now have basically 4 shots of espresso in me. I'm telling you, I feel amazing. I don't know how people operate without coffee. So I think our next 2 things are probably just going to be drive-by. One's a church and one's a castle. So I love churches, I love castles, but I think we're just going to drive by those. So Wrocław, you are an incredible city. I'm telling you, this is such an incredible city, and absolutely shocked. Didn't know how incredible this place was, and I thought this would just be a stopover en route, and I didn't realize how much I would like this place. I almost don't want to leave. So cool city. About 1.3 million people in the greater area, and it is just cool. said it would just be drive-by. But as I was driving by and as I realized why I wanted to stop here, made me realize that I had to stop and get out. And I actually paid to go in, and you'll see the video. It's incredible. So behind me is what's known as a peace church. It's one of 3 that was built in the 1650s. And you can see this one was built in 1652. So, you know me, I love a good story. And if there's the story behind it, I'm all there. And especially if there's an underdog. I love rooting for the underdogs. So I gotta tell you the story. So after the 30-year war, which is interesting because that goes back to when Sweden took the Devil's Bible. But after the 30-year war, and part of the Roman Catholic, kind of that whole connection and realm and reign, they allowed 3 Lutheran peace churches to be built. As part of the stipulation that they could be built, they had several things to make it very difficult for a Lutheran congregation to build their churches. The first stipulation was it had to be outside city walls, in the thinking that it was of lesser value and lesser kind of property outside of the city. So that was the first stipulation. The second stipulation is the size. It had to be 100 steps in length and no more than 50 steps in width. And so therefore it's not, I mean, it's big, don't get me wrong, but it's not some of the big grand ones, but this is still very, very big. So the other stipulation that they had to be built in degradable materials. So wood, straw, mud. So when this was built originally back in 1650, 1652, it was built with all wood, straw, mud. That's it. So now today you can see some metal pieces in there, but it's at the time it was built, no metal. You can still see some of the original wood kind of dowels, I guess, or pikes or spikes or whatever you want to call these, that are holding pieces of the wood together. How cool is that? And then in a last act of petulance, the Roman Catholic Church said they all had to be built within 1 year. And so what you see behind me, again, is the underdog coming through to build their church in a spectacular fashion with all the limitations and done in a year. It is incredible. It's worth stopping for. What an incredible story. Church was gorgeous, and I love the story behind it. And I love the fact that, you know, people are oppressed and that they come through and that they show their mettle. You know, I love the fact that people are strong in this world, and no matter how hard you put them down, people will always shine. It's pretty amazing. we are making our way to Broumov. And I'll explain to you why we're going to Broumov. But what I want to say, welcome to the Czech Republic. We made it. So it's another country on our list. We are now in Czechia, or the Czech Republic. And so I just got the chills. How cool is that? It's another country. I think it's very cool. Anyway, let's get to Broumov and we'll make a stop. So we are at the Broumov Cloister, and I will explain to you why we are here. The Codex Gigas, or the Devil's Bible, was written by a single monk. It took him 30 years, and his name was Herman the Recluse. Now, Herman the Recluse was at a very small monastery, and they couldn't afford to keep this book. They ended up pawning it to the Broumov Cloister. And that's why we are here at the Broumov Cloister, because it sat here from about 1420 to 1594, so almost 200 years. Anyway, we need to get back on the road. We need to start moving east, because I definitely want to get to the mountains. And we're not going to make it today, but it's already about 2 o'clock. But we're going to keep making our way there. But let's get on the road. And I get to say it again. Welcome to Poland. Welcome back. So yeah, it was a quick trip just to the Czech Republic, just to go to the Broumov Cloister. So very, very quick trip. We're back in Poland. And it's still as beautiful as ever. And we're gonna keep making our way. We got about 46 minutes, 30 kilometers to the next stop. I am so stressed out. So I'm so stressed out right now. It's not even funny. So I told you before that I'm going to try to take the cameras off during storms, because I think I'm kind of screwing it up a little bit. I was coming through this area, beautiful, beautiful area, right? Beautiful area. And I was videotaping it, and all of a sudden the storm starts. So I pull over, get all the cameras off, take them off my helmet, unplug everything, put it away, go down the street. And so I then pull over. I get some national forest, stunningly gorgeous. I pull over, take some photographs to send to a great friend of mine. And I'm like, oh my God, there's no more rain. Let's bring the cameras back out. It's gorgeous. I want to share it with everybody. I cannot find my camera. There's 2 days of video. My heart is dropping. I have backtracked for the past 30 miles to find that on the ground. Oh my God, I'm so stressed out. I was praying to the GoPro gods. I'll buy another GoPro, I promise. Just give me back the memory card. I just want the data on it. I just want the videos. I'll buy another one, I don't care. Just please give me back my stuff. And now it's raining again. We got the GoPro. It needs a little bit of TLC. We're gonna secure it this time, and we gotta get moving again. Because I had to backtrack, now I'm behind schedule. So anyway, I'm still stressed out, but we got it. I'm so glad it's here, and we'll get moving. We have a guest house about a half hour from here, so let's start making our way there. Found the guest house. It's nice. It's just big enough for me. However, it is on the steepest driveway. It's so steep, and I'm tired and hot. we're gonna go into town real quick, and we're just gonna get some groceries to eat, and we'll come back to the room and do some work. So that is the plan for tonight. What an incredible day. So first of all, I got to unveil my new hat and kind of my new logo. So this was kind of cool, but I got merch. So our first things were to go find the dwarves. Those were really cool. I liked them. I thought they make a really unique and interesting kind of scavenger hunt. And we found a couple that were very personal to me, the firefighter and the motorcyclist. So I thought that was really cool. And then we made our way down to the Peace Church in, I think it's called Świdnica. And absolutely incredible architecture, stunningly gorgeous. And just one of those heartwarming stories that just showed that people will overcome. One of my favorite places today was Broumov Cloister. I thought it was really cool to be able to connect what we saw up in Sweden to the trip down here in the Czech Republic, and how it connects the two countries, and with the book and the Codex Gigas. Very cool. I'm in a town called Świdnica. Say that. And it's this quaint, gorgeous little town, and they have this behind me and classical music playing. It's very cool. So I thought I'd stop and end the day here. So not a bad way to end the day. So I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys liked it, and I will see you guys later. See ya.